us stand with Oromo people.
Yeah, very tired. I'm not actually so.
We are here, United States citizens. So the government right now is deploying so many troops, so many militias from different areas of the country to do all kinds of disaster in the state. That is to say, the government is alleging that Oromo Liberation Army is the reason for killings and what is going on in the country. But a couple of days ago, a person from the Ethiopian government came out to say the killings are happening because the government is trying to show the world that the OLA is the reason for the killings, but that's not true. Even their own people in the government are saying that the government is doing to stay in power. So we are here. The majority of the people dying in the country are Oromos, children, elderly, and on top of that, houses are burning, crops are burning. So the problem right now, and killing people, alleging that the Oromos are doing this is not going to be a solution. That is not going to bring a solution. It's actually going to bring a civil war. That is going to be very, very bad because the country, there are many different ethnical groups that are in the country. So by pushing and making different reasons to fight among the ethnic groups, it's not going to bring peace. It's not going to bring stability. And as you know, the Oromo is the majority. It goes from the north to the south to the Kenya. So doing this to the Oromo is going to make the situation very, very worse. So we are asking United States to not to turn a blind eye on this situation because it will be a regrettable action. The United States to see what is true, not what the government says. The government is trying to stay in power, but staying in power is not going to save our country. It's not going to save the human rights abuse that is happening in the country. So we ask that United States looks into this situation ASAP because right now as we speak, the government is deploying heavy artillery, all kinds of military personnel from the federal and also from Amara region, the Amara militias, the Fanos to Oromiyaa state. Yesterday, 160 heavy artillery and from Addis Ababa to the west. The day before, more than that. So we need help. The people of Ethiopia, not only Oromiyaa, the people of Ethiopia needs help. And it will be late. It will be late, just like what happened in Rwanda. It will be late. Please, we appeal that you look into this situation. United States look into this situation. So this we are a community from here, Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania.
What is the name of your group?
Oromo community and from different areas. So we are Oromos. So, no, wait. Okay. So our appeal in general is you might have seen so many Ethiopians coming over here. That would tell you what is going on in that country. even though there is a disagreement among the people, not the people, among the groups, but at the end of the day, what the government does has a whole lot to do with it. So the government of Ethiopia is not doing what the government usually supposed to be doing for its people, especially Oromo people. So
what would you like the United States to do? We have made statements on the recent violence. What do you think of what we are saying?
that alone is not enough. For example, we would like independent investigation to go to the areas that they are alleging OLA is the reason, and especially when their own personnel comes out and says OLA is not the reason, it's the government itself to try to convince the people. We would like independent investigation. Also, we would like United States not to support that government because that government is not people's government. It's its own government, its own killer government. It's not supporting the people. It's not trying to bring peace.
So I will say that the government was elected. That's not to say that they can do whatever they want, and that the United States will have a relationship in which we feel free to tell them certain things that we see as wrong. Now, you're of course very welcome to your opinion. It is the elected government that we work with, and having voices like yours to listen to helps us develop thoughts about what is happening in places like Oromiyaa, which sometimes are difficult for us to get to from the embassy.
Can I say something? Let me just say a word on what you just mentioned. We are not in any way expecting the United States to say or do anything that is going to negatively impact our ability to work with that country standard. And we don't even have any reason to expect that to happen. The bottom line, the truth is that the government is not, first of all, the government currently in power, as you probably know very well, or my colleagues in Africa Bureau understand perfectly well, was elected after he has silenced every single opposition voice in that country, particularly those who represent over 60%, I quote, 60% of the population of our country. So there was no option but elect him. That doesn't make it that he's a universally accepted or Ethiopia-wide accepted leader.
I agree.
With that, all what we are asking the United States, we know our country has enormous leverage on, let alone in Ethiopia, but any other country, just because of our relationship with many countries that we have developed over the years. What we are requesting in this case, first, let the case be known. Let the United States continue to put a little bit more pressure than it has done, for which we are extremely grateful. I know the key role that the State Department has played up to now to influence the process on the ground. That should continue relentlessly on our behalf. And many of us here, grateful immigrants from Oromiyaa, will support to whatever possible that we are able to as citizens. We support your position. We support the decision that you have taken so far, particularly the State Department, as I said, has been extremely relentless working on this issue. We know that. We just want that to be a little bit more impactful, particularly at this critical time. Sons and daughters are being massacred on a daily basis. This, I cannot say this enough. Even these were pulled out of your house, sprinkled with those with gasoline and set on fire. I'm not advocating this is Facebook all over the country. They have killed people, tried to transported them to a bush, and from today on the spot, it is Facebook all over the country. So this is the process is going on. We just have to
So how should we address the fact that recently there were some killings in Oromiyaa that were some Oromos, presumably, but many Amhara as well. And that's also a big concern. And sometimes it's difficult to just, we want to address the situation in the appropriate manner, in the correct manner, without others thinking that we are ignoring another party or that we are supporting one party, because we want to address the suffering where it happens, and no matter who it is. And in some cases, it might be Amhara as well. And how would we deal with that?
Let me just say, give you my opinion a little bit on that one. we are not anyone expecting anybody to take a position apart from one ethnic group in a given region. Nor do we actually do that, as I speak to you. We strongly believe in the right of the people who are in Oromiyaa to continue to live in Oromiyaa as Oromians. It's every birthright of every individual in that country. Okay? However, what is increasingly becoming very clear is that the current regime is going out, killing Oromos in Oromiyaa, killing Amharas in Oromiyaa, going up and killing Amharas in Tigray, and then killing Tigrayans in Amhara. And this is not fabricated story. I'm not making it up.
Right.
And blame each one of us.
Sure.
That is why when he came to power, he had 100% support of all Ethiopians. Today, there isn't a single Ethiopian group except the guys who are running the country with him and corrupted. Not a single ethnic group in Ethiopia can support his support in Africa.
Right.
This is becoming increasingly the fact that everybody now knows.
Right.
This is a kind of a mafia regime, the way we see it, are working to achieve one single purpose: remain in power in Ethiopia for as long as they are able to. They don't represent any ethnic group. They don't represent any nationality. They don't represent any religion or region. However, their crime is being sold as a crime committed by Oromo government to kill the other nationalities. We don't, and we have never done it. Oromo Liberation Army existed for over 60, 70 years now, 60 years. How on earth one would accuse Oromo Liberation Army of massacring Oromos in Oromiyaa? It's insanity.
Sure.
But for the people outside the street who don't understand that, yes, it may sound real, but it's not real. It's not true.
Okay.
That is the point that we want to get across.
Okay.
First of all,
Let the father speak.
Oh, okay.
On top of that, we
Because
really
father, let me just say,
okay.
I see someone in your position as having a very special role as well. And it really hurts some of us to see that sometimes the divisions that we see sometimes in Ethiopia extend also to the religious communities. And I think you have a special role when it comes to healing. Because regardless of what happens in the future, bad things have happened on all sides. And there must be healing at some point in the future.
Exactly.
I think you will have a big role.
That is why a whole religious leaders representative from Oromiyaa is here today, because we are not here to claim somebody, not to claim somebody, but to find out the justice or the truth, what is going on the ground. So right now, as previously they mentioned, as a regime change, we all try to support because of the democracy, the freedom, fundamental human rights. Right now, in the ground, you are working on that, and the U.S. government is very concentrated and looking day and night what is going on the area, right? Especially for giving focus on the Tigray. In Oromiyaa, day to day, right now, when I'm speaking with you, people were innocent people were killed. So that is why we say the pressure you put on the government makes some of the religious, some of the political figures to came out from the prison, right? We appreciate that, what they're doing, but we need still support for those innocent people were just waiting for die for their turns, because the Benishangul Gums, on the Benishangul Gums there is a killing, in Gambela there is a killing, in all parts of the areas there is a killing. What we have seen, who did this? How that comes to the right place and with respect of the human equality and fundamental things. So we are very happy for what you are previously did and for working on the release of political prisoners, still political prisoners. Thousands of political prisoners in Oromiyaa is in prison and suffering out of just most of them cannot live in Amara as it is own region in Amara, right? But claiming living in Oromiyaa. But Oromo cannot live in a house in Oromiyaa because they just give a name like Shane was a different name and they start killing Oromo. They get license to kill Oromo on that name. So we, as you say, we are religious leaders here in the community need to just bring this one and discuss and solve this issue with United States government, because you are the strong supporter for us. We appreciate that, but we need a solution for this. Thank you.
Yeah. It's hard. You don't know how much we appreciate you coming out here today. So, in short, what is going on in the country, as they all say, is the government using clashing the ethnic groups, different groups, to kill each other, and because of that, they all don't like each other, and the government can stay there. That's what they are doing. But Oromiyaa, majority of the people, majority of the areas in Oromiyaa are under siege. We can say that, especially in the west, in the south, very, very bad. In the center, very bad. So what we are asking is, as you know, Ethiopia cannot live without United States support. We know that. We know that. Today, you know that. A lot of countries know that. They don't even have they need a budget support, as we know. Right. And if United States does not come in, their government does not continue. But United States can control that. So we are asking, the United States support has to go to the right place. That's not the right place. We know all the time United States cares about the people. That's why they give the money. But the people are not getting that money. The money that goes from United States does not go to the people. It goes to finance whatever they want to do in that country. That's one. Number
whatever
two.
Who wants to do.
The government.
So we're not giving any money to the government these days because of initially what was happening in Tigray and other places. But right now, our relationship is such that we don't give money to the government. They understand that, and we've communicated that to them. They know exactly what we would want them to do for us to resume that relationship. The money through the State Department, yes, a lot of it goes to places like Tigray, because there was a focus on that last year. But we understand the need in places like Oromiyaa, especially because of the drought as well. So there is a lot of focus on that. I can assure you that really we're not, the money that, if it doesn't go to people who need it, it's because the need is vast, it's big. And there's needs in other countries as well that we try to address. I can say that I believe that Ethiopia is maybe one of the number one recipients of humanitarian assistance from the United States in the world. But still, the need is vast. But it is not being directed by the Ethiopian government at this point. We don't have that relationship with them right now.
Okay. And the second...
I want to stake in is the role of independent investigation. In Ethiopia, what is being done is the government perpetrates mass killings, blames an opposition party, and the entire world takes that news and broadcasts it as if it is a biblical truth. What we have been asking for generations is that an independent investigation needs to happen, not by an Ethiopian body. The Ethiopian Human Rights Commission is not a representative human rights commission. It is a biased organization, like any other Ethiopian organization. We don't have an institution that works. Say that? Because they don't. Because we know, and you know too. What they do is they always propagate in the name of a certain group, but they redress it. They put the sugar coated, and the entire world takes it and tells us as if it is truth. What we are asking is, if you want to find the truth, if the international community wants to find the truth, form an independent group, neutral group, not aligned with the Oromo, not aligned with the Amara, not aligned with the Ethiopian government, not even aligned with the African Union, because the African Union itself is also biased. It has been there. No investigation has taken place. So what we beg of you, the same rights we enjoy here. I'm here in the United States because I enjoy my rights. The same rights I enjoy, the same reason that brought me from so far to come here, right, and to make a profession, to live here, right, to pay tax. Those rights should be extended to my fellow Oromo back home. How can that be done? you need to help us. The United Nations needs to help us. The international community needs to help us. What has been done is the international community has neglected, especially the Oromo. We are neglected. We feel we are alienated. We feel we are just relegated to whoever comes to power to play with us.
Right.
And the thing is, even when we try to fight it, nowadays no one's to fight, right? No international community says you have to fight. So what is being done is that, so we need really a credible investigation, as has been asked by the Human Rights Watch, as has been asked by the Amnesty International and other human rights organizations. Incredible, independent, neutral investigation. Find the truth. Go wherever the truth might lead to. Thank you.
Just to answer your why question for my friend, why we believe that the Ethiopian human rights organization is not administrative, nor does it say the truth. Just about 2 months ago, several Oromo traditional elders were murdered. 17 of them were murdered.
That's in December.
In December,
Yeah,
the first thing that the government said, Oromo Liberation Army killed them. Ethiopian Human Rights Commission never said a word for subsequent 3 or 4 weeks until Representative Hangasa, who is a parliamentarian in Ethiopia, legally still operating as a parliamentarian, came out and told the whole world that killing was carried out by our government, Oromiyaa government, under the leadership of Shimallis Adunya, who is the governor of Oromiyaa. That is the time when, after he said that, Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, together with the United Nations, came out and made a pronouncement. That killing was conducted by the government. That is why we don't trust them. For the first time, they admitted their government has committed genocide only after their own came out and told the whole world in a way that they cannot. Thank you. Okay.
The same thing, to piggyback on what he said, the same thing happened last week. The same person came out to tell what happened. Yes.
Yeah.
Let me ask, how much longer are you here? Because I will say it was very loud. So I get phone calls from everyone in this building.
Look, this is the most important part we wanted to see. Thank you for coming. After this, we can move. 10 minutes, we can go. No problem.
We need all inclusive
Yes, 5 minutes.
dialogue in Ethiopia. Otherwise, that country is going to go collapse.
So I did want to ask, like, there is a National Dialogue Commission.
That's a fake. That's a fake.
No, nobody, even the Ethiopian government doesn't believe in that.
Why
They are just orchestrating it for us, for the international community's consumption.
we are only asking for independent investigation. That is it.
Is it okay to give you this?
Thank you.
They cherry pick who should get into the commission.
Yes,
Please can we get your name and your
Sir, it's Jeffrey Parker.
Thank you very much.
I'm the Ethiopia desk here. Let me just say, so anyone in this country, I assume most of you are American citizens, you're very welcome to criticize this government. I criticize this government, everyone does, it's fine. As the government in Ethiopia as well. What I would ask is that the danger in a country like Ethiopia is that you have these thick lines drawn between ethnicities, for example. And we would ask that you not fall to that trap of demonizing another group, like we see sometimes on social media. It's so easy to anonymously post something on social media against the Amhara, against the Oromo, the Tigrayans, but it really does not help.
Sure.
It really doesn't.
We concur with you.
Because the government can take advantage of that.
Sure.
We concerned and what you said is right on the mark. We know it is happening.
Yes. The thing is,
And
Amhara people and Oromo people has been living together for centuries.
Yes, Ethiopia is a very old country.
Yes, but now it's a group like Fano, like
Right.
Amhara militia.
Yeah.
Those are the ones going around.
And I mean,
so
if you
it's
go
not
to
the
Ethiopia
people.
and look
It's
at
not the
things,
people.
the only place where all people live together is in Oromo.
Yeah.
Now what? That you don't find an Oromo in Tigray. or not much Oromo in Amhara.
No.
Okay.
So we are in Oromo. We have been living together for a long time.
Right.
And the other point is the community leaders, as well as we, the faith leaders, are telling our people, educating our people that what we want is really a truly unbiased democratic order where we all could live together on equal basis on freedom.
Thank you so much for coming out.
It is a priority for us. Maybe you don't realize that. Maybe because it seems that progress is very slow, and you don't understand when we tweet something or when we have a statement. But I can promise you that for this administration, it is a priority. Ethiopia is important to us, and we have. I mean, I speak to my colleagues, and we have so much respect for the country because of its history, especially. And we see the importance of Ethiopia for other African nations, the way African nations look to Ethiopia for guidance and for inspiration. So it is important to us that Ethiopia succeed. But thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Really appreciate. May God bless you. May God bless you.
You're
United
quiet
States.
now.
We'll be leaving.
Okay.
No
Thank you
problem.
so much.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.